Okay, here we are.
Kelley. We're out.
Okay.
Thanks a bunch for
We'll
everything.
be right with you. So you think I'm better off dialing in? No. Let's try that. Maybe if I dial in.
But then I don't know if you have video from your phone, do you?
Well, I should be.
I'm not perfect Zoom.
Me neither.
I'm not a perfect Zoomer.
Me neither.
So anyway, he's out, but he wanted to move back out there, and he had a job and work and live with his dad. He really didn't want to live with his dad, but he wanted to move. It's like, if I come home, and if I stay home, and I go back in with you for one of my years,
It is.
I'm like, that's nice, though. Like, you always got drama and all that.
Crystal O'Loughlin.
I think so. I don't really like Enzo. I have to get over that, right? That's not my, I have no control over that anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
They live in Chandler.
Oh. When I dialed in,
He lives
it
up.
took my video off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it only does audio.
Okay.
I see.
Mind.
That's why I was like, does it do
We
video?
didn't have, we kind of
Let's
went like
try this.
this time of the day. We walked a lot,
You
like
have to leave this meeting.
hiking. We did find kind of one
Sounds
that
like
was
you're there.
I'm going to join audio, and I'm going to say
They're very, you can tell they're used to
Progress.
See, that's the only thing also.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Okay, hello, hello? I wonder why.
I think you have to mute one.
I've got this one muted,
Yeah.
but I need this one.
Okay, less than a minute.
Okay, no problem.
We got less than a minute.
Oh,
Okay, so can you hear me? Okay, so can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Works. But if I mute, you cannot hear me. Okay. So I'm just gonna have to. Okay.
Go down and relax. If you want to.
All right.
Okay. And then it'll turn off, and then you can sit up.
So we're gonna do it all from the phone,
Okay.
which is just fine. I
Okay.
think that's gonna be just fine. Because I've got people joining and I can do it that way.
Okay.
And
This isn't going on that.
No,
This is just for us.
that's just for us.
Okay, good. A whole bunch of pressure just went off my shoulder.
oh, hi. No, that's fine. What's your name?
Hi, Leora.
Theora?
Leora.
Leora. Hi, nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we've
You
got
can stop and go, or whatever you feel. Or we can cut the whole thing if you do the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Just-
that's good.
Oh,
Let's
Or we
see.
just- oh,
It's
you-
5 more people. I think what we'll do is I'm gonna let them in
Okay.
and then
Is it how many people total?
there's 25
Okay.
in the retreat, and on any given day so far we've had between 20 and 22,
Okay.
but we haven't done like a 5 p.m. Friday night
Yeah.
session. So
Might be-
I don't actually
be like-
know. But you know, they're ready. I think they're good. Let's see, where should we start?
I know. I'm thinking maybe start with like a horse behind us. like
Yeah,
two
that's
big-
a really good idea.
we can start up there in the pasture.
Okay, well.
Kelly, do you have a coat on?
Yeah.
Is it just one?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi. Joining. I've got some friends here with me. So we're just gathering everybody together. This is Kelly.
Welcome to Whole Heart Ranch.
And this is,
This is little Mr. DJ.
he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing, doesn't he?
He's a good boy. Are you a good boy? Say, I love the camera, Mom. I love the camera.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we're just give everybody like another minute or so. I know, are you so curious?
Who is that? Is that you?
Oh, fantastic. Okay. We have another individual. Oop, I'm gonna get my finger out of the way here. Okay, just give us one more minute. And then Leora, you let us know when it's like 2 or 3 minutes past because I can't actually look. Let's
I
see.
gotta watch on too. So
Oh, you do? Okay.
It's 3 minutes and 25 seconds past the hour.
It's 5:03. Okay, so we'll just give it one more minute and then I just want to make sure. This is very interesting because Erin, our community manager, was not able to join tonight. So not only am I running the Zoom, recording the Zoom and doing it live on the fly, I'm not able to look at the chat. So I was wondering if one of our mothers or, you know, even two might volunteer. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Might volunteer to monitor the chat for us. And if you could just raise your hand or.
I will.
Oh, that would be great. Hang on. I don't have all of I can't see who that is.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer White, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Jennifer, if you could monitor the chat, if anybody has any questions, we will be inviting opportunities for mothers to enter things into the chat. But if there's something that comes up, just sort of feel free to interrupt us and say, hey, there's something that someone wants to know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that we have gathered everybody, and I think that we will just get started. So it is Friday, week 1 of our Rare Mothers Wellness Retreat. And I am here with Kelley White-Chaplain, my dear friend. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this again. We did this for the first time 2 years ago. And so here we are doing this again in this virtual format. And Kelley, we have mothers joining from all over the world.
I know, that's super cool.
Isn't that
You're gonna make me
amazing?
cry, and I haven't even been on here for 5 minutes.
know,
Thank you, DJ.
Kelley's such a heart-led individual. Okay, well, introduce yourself and about your center and the work that you do, and then we'll kind of go around and meet some of your horses.
Sounds great. My name is Kelley Chaplain. It used to be White, so Crystal knows me from school together. So we go way back. She's younger than me. She was my son. So anyways, and so this is I can't believe that I get to do this every day. I've done many things throughout my life. My mom always laughs and says I can't stick with anything for 4 years. So this we're on a much longer run, but I was certified in started working with horses in about 2005. And then I was certified in 2010 to do, I call it equine coaching. Because I'm not a therapist. I probably have as much experience with all of my work that I have done in working with people. I ran a recovery high school, which is where we really started the work with horses. But I am not a therapist. I call myself an equine coach. We're here this weekend actually certifying a new team. We actually certify people now to do this type of work. And what we do on a daily basis is we work with these horses who are just these amazing beings. To be honest, they are the therapist. I just have to make sure I listen to them when they're telling me what needs to be healed. And they bring healing in areas such as grief, anxiety, isolation. We've done a lot of isolation work since COVID hit. And I know being a rare mom, that happens a lot of times, this isolation that we feel, or we feel it's all on our shoulders. And so they do a lot of work with everything from depression, anxiety. I can't tell you what they do because they do whatever is necessary to do. Whatever learning we need, whatever growth we need, whatever healing we need, they are the beings, in my opinion, to do it. It's a very spiritual experience. So we've wanted to do a virtual thing for a really long time. And everybody asked me when COVID started, are you going to start doing virtual sessions? And I'm like, how do you do a virtual session with a horse? It's so energy based, and it's so spiritual, and it's so connection. How do we do that connection? So I would love to hear from you guys on what it's like to be on the other end of this. I'd love any feedback that you can give us. I'd love to know how it worked for you to be connected and what that felt like. And so this is DJ. He is one of my herd members. He is a very special guy. As you can see, he's not camera shy at all. In fact, apparently he likes to be the center of attention. But he is just, hi. He is a very sweet boy. He is about 20 years old. All of the horses on the ranch are rescues. I believe that rescues have something to give us. They have something special. If you've ever rescued a dog, if you've ever rescued anything, so many times we've needed rescuing, right? And what does that mean? And we do our best work when we've had some of those same experiences. And so DJ is one of our rescues. He actually, we always say he's in the witness protection program, so we can't publicize this because he actually was repossessed from someone that had adopted him from the horse because they weren't treating him right. And he came back to us with a torn meniscus. So he can't be ridden, but he still has a purpose. And I think that's the beauty of the work that we do here is just because maybe you can't do the things you thought you were going to do in this life, or maybe things turn out differently than we thought they were going to, it doesn't mean we don't have a purpose. And DJ is such a fine example of, everybody thought he'd be a well-trained riding horse, tore his meniscus, and that wasn't his purpose. His purpose was to heal people. That's what I can tell you. With everything in my being, this is why this horse was put on this earth. And so you never know what your purpose is going to be. And you never know what those changes that occur sometimes that we don't like will give us. So this is DJ, and we'll go over, let's see if we get Chance's attention. He's a little bit more food motivated. So if I have food, he might pay attention. Hey, Chance Pants. Chance Pants. He's like, I've worked really hard today, Mom. They really worked me during certification. Hi. So this is Chancey Pants. You can see he was also a rescue. I always tell everybody he is, face him that way so they can see his, just show him his face and not his buns. You know what? Show him Chance. Don't show him me. He's much more exciting than I am anyways.
I think actually I can flip.
Oh,
and then
there we go.
maybe I'll actually be able to get some better camera angles here. So you keep talking, okay, and I'll show Chance.
So this is Chancey Pants is what we call him. He is I always say he's my $43,000 horse because that's what he originally cost. Somebody else, not me. I rescued him after he had been injured twice. He was a jumping horse and he'd been injured twice. And they decided to get their young girl a new horse. She actually was on the spectrum. And so he is just a fantastic horse with everybody. He takes care. I guess he learned from working with her just to always take care. And so he is my horse. He will teach you what you need to know, but he will also definitely take care of you. So since he had 2 injuries, he was not going to jump again. And they wanted to donate him to a program that was going to do work with him, help people heal. And so I went and picked him up in Central California and he came home to his forever home. And as you can see, he loves food. He loves all kinds of food, any scrap on the ground, anything. And he did work hard today. So I'm sure he's thinking he earns that food. Okay, Chance, since you're not very exciting, now you're going to pay attention to us, Chance? Oh,
here he comes.
Hi. Oh,
don't leave.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to leave, and you get his show name was Heart of Chance because he has a little heart on his forehead. So that's
beautiful.
Chance.
He's so big too. I wish you could see the relative sizes because he's a massive horse.
Yes.
Okay.
He's one of my big guys.
Powerhouse.
And then we do have 2 goats over here, which we'll just show them real quick. These are my, we call them therapy goats here. These are my 2 little boys that recently came to us. Their family was moving and they ended up coming to us. But they do a lot of work around here actually with clients. Kids love him, brings joy. They're silly and fun. So
Hi. Say hi.
Hi, Duncan. That's Duncan, little gray one, a little black one in the corner taking a nap is Dexter. So
Duncan and Dexter.
Yeah.
All right.
And then this is Sebastian. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh, you're gonna come over too in case I had a treat on me? I don't. This is Sebastian. He was also a jumper. He actually technically belongs to Leora, who is his mom, who is also here today with us doing some filming.
Hi, Leora.
And he was another rescue. He retired jumping. So he had some small injuries, but that wasn't why he ended up here. He was getting older. His owner couldn't take care of him. There was a divorce and some financial issues and wanted to give him to a great place. We had worked with her before. And so I actually took Leora out there because I didn't need another horse. And I took Leora out and said, well, maybe this would be a good horse for you because she was looking for a horse. And They fell in love in about 2 minutes. There was this just beautiful connection between them. And we were riding home that day and I said, okay, well, I don't feel you have to make a decision today. She's like, I already made my decision. I'm taking it. So that was it. So he's been here almost 3 years, I think. 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, 2, a little over. But he's older. He's one of our older gentlemen. He's about 28 years old, we believe. We're not sure what his birth certificate. No one will give you a birth certificate, so we don't know how old you really are, huh? But another good boy and another massive horse.
Yes.
So he's as you can see where DJ's head was compared to where his head is. That gives you a perspective of
Look at the ears
the
going back
difference.
and forth, right?
huh. Okay, let's head up to the pasture and meet a couple more. And anybody have any questions so far?
Yeah, just drop your questions into the chat if you have any, or comments are good too. It's just nice to hear. Let's see, we've met DJ, we've
Sebastian,
met
Chance.
Sebastian.
And these 2 boys right here is my husband will tell you this is the one that started it all, and so will I. This guy right here. Hi, buddy. Hi. What you doing?
Brittany says, beautiful horses. Wish we were in person.
I
Oh,
know.
you will be someday. We're gonna have you out to Barrett Family Ranch one day. That will be. Oh, should I go around?
Yeah,
and
why
come
don't you
down
come
there?
around? Why don't you
Okay,
come
great.
over there?
Okay. Gotta have a tractor if you're on the farm here, everybody.
So this is Brutus to my right and Enzo to my left. Brutus, like I said, is the one who started this whole thing. I went out to a rescue for a fundraiser. I told my husband, by the way, I'm gonna get a horse, but not tonight. And this guy was there, and he was about 3 years old. He was not trained. He was deemed as dangerous. And so of course I decided I wanted to work with him, and was in way over my head. But he bit, he kicked, not because he was a bad horse, but because he was a track horse. So he was born on Santa Anita racetrack. Actually, I don't even know if it was Santa Anita. He was born on the tracks, and on the tracks, they take him away from their moms way too young. And so they don't learn manners. They don't learn how to be a horse. So he really didn't know how to be a horse. And so, his horse education came from me, and then the other horses around the ranch. So I worked with him for about 3 years before he came home, actually. Maybe 2 years. 2 years before he came home up at the rescue. And he actually is just become the most amazing horse. He loves to please. He loves to be connected. We always said, I don't know if any of you know what reactive attachment disorder is, but he definitely had an attachment disorder when he came. And it took me about 5 months to even connect to him because he just wouldn't connect. He didn't know how to connect. Now he, I'd say, is one of the best horses out here. He's just turned into just such a good boy, huh? Yes. And he'll do anything for anybody. He'll still test you though, because they are like children. They love you. They love to be connected, but they will still test you. And the reason they test is to make sure that you're a worthy leader, just as kids do, to make sure that they're safe. And we're going to talk a little bit about them being prey animals. And then this is Enzo. Enzo technically is not Whole Heart Ranches yet. Technically, Enzo is a friend of mine's horse. He comes every year for vacation, is what we call it. And he ends up staying. And so this is his third year here. He skipped COVID year. He was his third year here. He is really actually a very shy horse.
He seems very shy.
He's very kind of standoffish. Takes him a while to trust as he's going through, but he's made a remarkable change here. When we first got him on the ranch the first year, they had him haltered for 10 years because they couldn't figure out how to take his halter on and off because he would never let him halter him. And so we worked on that the first year. For him to be standing here right now is absolute. It's a 100% improvement change for him. He'd usually be on the other side. So what he has accomplished in the last 3 years. This year he is supposed to stay for good, so we will kind of see what happens there, huh, buddy? But this is his home. His parents are getting older. They realize he needs to be here. He's super happy here. He's definitely needs horse connection like they all do, but he is just flourished here and they see it. So he'll probably end up staying, huh? This is your year. I told him the first year I sat at 2:00 in the morning in his stall the night before he was leaving. And I said, I promise you will be here. I promise this isn't it. And you'll be here, huh, bud? So made that commitment to him. And guess what? Here he is again. Huh. So for him to even like come into me while I'm standing here talking, I know Leora's back there just shaking her head like, I can't believe he's actually doing this. This is absolutely incredible. So it shows you how much connection we have with him and how much change that we've seen from him.
Brittany says, making me tear up. And Catherine has something interesting. I'm familiar with hippotherapy, but this sounds different. If we were in person, would this be brushing them, eventually riding?
We do mostly groundwork. So every once in a while, and it depends on the type of client that we're working with. We do some girls' confidence courses where they ride at the end, but our basic work is all on the ground, and it's all about making connection with horses. It's about learning how to be a worthy leader for the horses. And it's also about communicating to them in their natural language. So instead of expecting the horse to understand my language and how I operate, I actually need to understand how horses operate and how they communicate. And so it's very different in many aspects. But what I've learned is when we learn, they've got communication down, horses do. They are very clear. They're very direct. They mean what they say. They say what they mean. They speak 98% through body language. So once we learn how to communicate with them in the way that they speak, what I find is clients are able to go out and communicate with people in their herd, okay, their family, their friends, their colleagues at work, in a way that is more congruent and more authentic to who they really are, which allows a different reaction and a different connection for them in their lives. So that's how it makes the change, which I know it sounds kind of woo-woo-y, and it really is. I'll be honest with you. Until you experience it, you can't really explain it until you see it. But it's pretty powerful. And again, sometimes we do put people on horses if they have to get over some fear that they have sometimes, and just that connection with them. And so, but our goal is we always start at the ground level, and we start in the communication and the basic skills for horses.
So, Kelley, this week, and when we do our experiences together, we focus on the 5 senses. And this week is focused on sight.
Yes.
It's on the visual cues that were supported. And one of the things that Kelley offered to do was bring a couple of horses together so that we could watch and see how they interact with each other. I also encourage you, and I know these virtual experiences are a little tricky, but really see if you can find some characteristic of each of these horses that resonates with you. We'd like for each of you by the end of this experience to talk about, actually pop into the chat, which of the 6 horses that we've met tonight that you feel some sort of affinity with. Because that will be an archetype that we'll call on going forward in the future. So maybe we want to, as we're walking back also, or even just verbally, Kelley, maybe we want to do a recap of the horses. So far, we got
Enzo right here, who's staring into the camera. Oh, buddy. And I'm going to tell you, it's a really instinctual thing. I want you to trust your gut on this. Moms have guts. there's reasons that we have guts. There's reasons we follow our instincts. Horses are very instinctual animals. And so I want us to be aware of that. So this is Enzo. Who do you connect with? Who did you just, boom, you could feel that connection with? And if not, by the end, who do you feel that connection with? So Enzo, this is Brutus. Hi, what are you doing, silly boy? Okay, this is Brutus. And then I'll get my way out. And by the way, don't ever stand between two horses.
She says.
Safety rule number one.
She says. Oh my gosh.
And we say that all the time, that we tend to find ourselves in that position or in between a horse and a fence.
And Karen says, yes, I would love to be there in person. I love horses. And Doreen says, oh, I second that. Wish I was there. The horses are such majestic, healing creatures.
Amen.
Okay. And then Sebastian, who has his buns towards us right now. Buddy. He was my big, tall boy. Ah, there you go. Thanks for turning with the beautiful blaze, beautiful white blaze.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you. Oh, sweetheart.
And then we have Chance, who's still over here eating food, by the way. Oh, you're going to come join us? Thank you, sir. There's Chance.
That beautiful white star. Hi. You were so shy before, or
Yeah.
focused rather.
Yeah, I was going to say, not
Focused on
shy.
food.
You might have some food now.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And then DJ. And I'm going to take, what I'm going to do is we're going to grab a couple horses. We're going to put them out in the middle of the arena. If you guys have the capability, either on phone or computer or on paper, I'm going to encourage you, we're going to do what we call a herd observation. I'm going to encourage you to write down some things that you're observing. So if we think about sight, we're thinking in this case, things that we see. So when these two horses are out together, they've formed a herd out in the round pen. I want you to kind of write down or mentally take notes. And what do you see? What do you see them doing together? Then I also want you to think about inferences. Okay, so observations, things we see. Inferences are things that we derive from what we've observed. So if I see DJ licking my hand, what you might derive is Kelley hasn't fed her horses and they're really hungry. Okay, that's your inference. Or DJ likes whatever, Kelley's lotion that she has on her hand. That's your inference. So I want us to kind of keep in mind those two things. And then the question part, you can put in the chat box if you have any questions as we go through. So we're going to grab, does anybody have a horse they're really want to see out there? Anybody have one you want to?
Catherine asked, which horse was born on the track?
Brutus. Brutus. Is that who you want to see?
Chance.
Someone said Chance.
Chance?
Yep, seen a couple for
Madeline
Chance.
said Chance. Yeah, a couple people said
Okay.
Chance.
So I'm going to grab DJ. We're going to put DJ out, and then we're going to grab Chance, put Chance out with DJ.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to move this because horses are prey animals,
Jessica, you want to
and I want to make sure that that doesn't scare them.
move that just so because they're not familiar with it. Yeah.
And I'm going to bring DJ out first. So the observation starts from the second I halter DJ until he gets in with his other herd member Chance. And we'll spend probably about 5 minutes just watching them, and then we'll kind of we'll see what derives. I'll be honest with you, you never know what's going to occur. Sometimes it's like watching paint dry, and sometimes it's a rodeo. So we'll just, but whatever these two decide is what we need to learn this today and what we need to gather from it. So, and what we can take from it. And that's the beauty of it. Ready to go, buddy?
They have the same.
Someone asked, they have the same color. Which one is which?
Chance is the bigger one, DJ's the smaller one. Chance has got his face towards us also, and DJ his buns, but. And then Chance has the white mark.
Brittany said they're doing everything almost in unison. And we do have Brittany who said they're doing everything almost in unison. Catherine said we need Crystal to talk to her on the speaker view again.
Am I not on the speaker view? It's not showing up. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
So what are some things you guys are observing? So some things that you see with your eyes about what the horses are doing.
Catherine said, heads down, staying close, moving slowly. Jana says, looking for food, staying close together. Madeline says, seems relaxed.
So what are your indications that they're being they're seem relaxed? Is that an inference, an observation, and what makes you think they're relaxed?
Madeline says, heads to the ground.
Okay.
Someone's obviously relaxed enough if they let their guard down to rolling around. Elizabeth said they walk slowly. Karen said they're relaxed because their heads are down and sniffing.
Okay.
Calm mannerisms, says Brittany. Jana says doing their own thing. Doreen says they do not seem aggressive or scared, just moving slowly, doing their thing.
Okay, so I'm going to keep the camera on them, but you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 3 types of horses in the wild. Okay, and we're going to take it to here tonight. There are lead horses, and remember that horses are prey animals. So a lead horse's job is to keep this herd safe, to teach the herd, to nurture the herd. Usually in the wild, believe it or not, it's a lead mare, right? Sounds like our job as moms at home, doesn't it? And so it's a lead mare, and that is their job in the wild. There's also a lead stallion. His job is to protect and procreate. Okay. So that's the first type of horse. The second horse is what we call a submissive horse. A submissive horse is one who, I like to explain it as, he doesn't give or she doesn't give a lot to the herd. He doesn't take away or she doesn't take away a lot from the herd. They're just kind of there. They're not active participants in the herd. Now, submissive horses, anybody can become a lead horse. And the lead horse is always trying to teach the submissive and the dominant horses, which is the next one we're going to do, on how to be a lead, because they want to make sure there's more than one lead in the herd, because if something happens to them, if they get injured, if they're not feeling well for the day, if they're having a rough time, if they need to eat or sleep, they need to make sure that there's somebody else qualified to take that leadership over. And then there's the dominant horse. The dominant horse is like what we like to call a bully horse. This is the horse that just causes havoc in the herd, just to cause havoc in the herd. Okay. I like to kind of equate it to frat boys or teenagers who are just causing havoc, and their hormones are all over the place and they're just kind of going crazy for a while. Okay. And so those are the 3 types of horses that we have. Usually bully horses get kicked out of the herd. It's usually where we'll see bands of stallions out there, and usually they don't survive if they don't learn how to not be a bully, because nobody's taking care. They're just wreaking havoc and having fun and partying, and nobody's watching, to make sure somebody doesn't drink too much and pass. Okay. That's kind of how that's the best human terms I can put it in, I guess. Right. And so out here, I want your opinion or your educated guess of the little that I've told you about horses. What kind of horses? Do we have lead horses out here? Do we have a lead horse? Do we have a dominant horse? Do we have a submissive horse? You can throw that in the chat box.
And Jessica was nice enough to give us a little guide here with lead horses, submissive and dominant. Doreen says DJ submissive, Chance dominant.
Okay.
Karen says, I think the opposite. And then we've got two more that say DJ lead, and then someone else says Chance submissive. And Madeline agrees with Jana, DJ lead and Chance submissive.
Okay, Chance, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said about you. Take it and run with it, Chance. He's like, what, me? So DJ is one of the lead horses in the herd. And Chance is a bully dominant horse being trying to turn into a lead horse, we've decided lately, with a lot of work for years and years from DJ. Good boy. Okay. So the reason I would say that, you didn't get to see any dominant from Chance because I will tell you, he's really been working hard at it, or DJ's been working hard, I should say, with Chance. But Chance is getting it. Chance has been working a lot right now with my mentees and my people, staff that was certified today. And so he's kind of been able to kind of start to understand that the dominant behavior really isn't working for him. It doesn't build connection for him. It doesn't foster relationship, but you can see right here, see that move right there that DJ just does right there? That is him asking Chance to move his feet. Okay. Now you can see Chance isn't moving his feet, is he? That would kind of be, even though that's a subtle dominance right there, that's Chance saying, I'm not going to listen to your leadership. Okay. It could also mean that Chance is really comfortable right now. Okay. My guess is, knowing Chance, it probably, so he's trying to move DJ's feet. Did you guys just see that? He walked kind of towards DJ and he actually moved DJ's feet. Now DJ's going to respond a little differently right now. Does anybody have any idea of why DJ might be responding differently than he was a couple of minutes ago?
Because you've entered the scene.
Say that again.
Because you've entered the scene.
Why do you say because I entered the scene?
Someone says because you are the leader.
Yep. I'm the lead mare around here. I'm the only mare I have on purpose. No, I work with a lot of lead mares, but my horses are all geldings. But yes, that is exactly right. DJ came over to me to ask me and to ask me, what do you want me to do, lead? I trust you. You're my lead. Okay. So he didn't have to move Chance or lead Chance because he knows that I'm gonna lead Chance if he needs to be led. Chance is also doing a really great job today of staying focused. One of the reasons I know Chance also is accepting my leadership is his face is towards me. His eyes are on me. He's being respectful. He's got a lot going on today. Huh, good boy. I know. Are you turning into a leader? What? Hi. Who said old horses can't learn new tricks? Huh? Okay. So if Chance was disconnected right now, or if Chance was showing dominant behavior, there'd be no connection between them. And so I want us to keep that in mind as we are within our own herd. Okay. I know that your families have gone through and are continuing to go through quite a bit. And I know as the lead mare in your home that there got to be days when you just don't want to lead anymore. There got to be days that are just tough. And who can sometimes take over that lead for you, that you can trust, that you know will be a good leader, that will be worthy and will be able to nurture and support? How can you get some self-care in there? So how DJ does that is I walk into the arena and I take a little bit from him. So I want you guys to kind of think about that for yourselves. Who observe people before you do it. Okay. We're much like horses. Observe people. Where are their strengths? Who do you want to be able to support you in leadership when you just don't have another moment of leadership, lead mare left in you? Because we all need a rest. We all need downtime. And so I do want to tell you a little bit about horses just because I feel like it helps us with kids. One, they're prey animals. Kids are prey animals. Okay. I always vacillate on this. How do I know they're prey animals? Well, because their eyes are on the side of their head. How do I know we're predators? Well, our eyes are in front of our face, right? But I don't always think, I really believe that humans, the more I do this work, are a mix between prey and predator. Because there are humans that are definitely preyed upon, children being one of them. Okay. Women sometimes being one of them. And so I believe that mix gives us an advantage. And I believe that mix gives us empathy on both directions. And so what do prey animals need? The first thing they need is to feel safe. Okay. So when we're talking about your kids, when we're talking about you, when we're talking about members of our herd, we need to feel safe. That's going to be really important. They need to have structure and consistency. Okay. Those are going to be, and they definitely will seek out crossing boundaries, and they need those boundaries to support them so they can feel safe. Boundaries are what makes them feel safe. Boundaries are what they know is safe. And so we've got, I know you have a lot on your plates with managing these different things, but structure and consistency and boundaries are really important. The other thing you'll notice about horses, DJ's doing a lot of the butt move today, which I love because he doesn't necessarily always do this. He's learning a little bit. So we have a new lead. Enzo's one of our new leads in our herd, and he's kind of the pasture lead. And I think, honestly, DJ's been watching him when he's been in here and taking some tips from him about what works with some of the other horses, because you have been. So DJ's licking and chewing, which means I'm being congruent, which means my heart, my mind match, and that I'm speaking truth. And so am I speaking truth? You learned some things from Enzo. DJ's leadership style wasn't quite as subtle. A lot of people mistaked him for a bully horse because he just he's quicker. It's subtle in the ways that he would give subtle gestures and ask a horse to do something and they wouldn't respond, and then he'd get big. Enzo just keeps on at the subtle. And one of his signatures is the bun move or the butt move. And so I noticed DJ's kind of implementing that a little bit more as he goes through. Okay. So, but DJ's going over, he's asking Chance to move. He's walking around him, and then he'll subtly, potentially take a step towards Chance. Or he might just be like, well, Kelley's out here handling it all, so I don't really have to do anything, which is a good break for him. Any questions about that? Or how I guess my question, any questions about that, first of all?
No questions yet.
Okay. If you have any questions, just shout them out to us, moderator, chat moderator. So my question would be to you guys is, how can you take this experience? How's it applicable to your situation?
Catherine said that's so much info on human behavior.
That's my favorite. Yes. Human behavior. By the way, they're 98% body language. So are we. We fill it in with a lot of chit chatter, but our body language speaks.
So I like your question, Kelley. Can you draw any parallels into your family dynamics or your relationship with your child, with your loved one, with other potential lead horses in the family? If you can think about maybe sharing a few of those, I think we can learn from each other.
Brittany says, Chance and I are alike. He was focused and then social. I feel the same way. I need to read a room and feel the emotion of the room, then go forward. Catherine says, get help being the leader. We need rest. Number 2, if we are paying attention to each other, there's connection. Even if the connection is not where we want it, it isn't gone if we are looking to each other. And Karen says the importance of effective leadership, and also that all leaders need a break.
if that would be all that we would take away from here tonight, I feel like we've won. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. Gosh, it must be just an emotional day. I'm gonna blame it on that. It's an emotional day. But that's the power of these horses. The power of what we can learn from them. The importance of connection. The importance of some of us. I mean, I am. You know, people describe me. Why did I pick Brutus as my love of my life, soulmate horse? He was a track horse, right? What do? They put blinders on him and they go forward when they have a goal, and they will knock over everybody in their way to get to the finish line. And then they turn around and they look and go, why are y'all on the ground? I thought we were doing this as a team, right? And so I had to really learn that within myself. And what do I want in this world? What do I want is I want connection. What I want is to be viewed as someone that makes a difference. What I was doing is I was trying to do all that, but I was doing it just so fast paced that those weren't the results that I was getting. And so I had to make some changes in my life, some changes in my behavior. Where did I learn that from? Gosh darn it, you guys, horses. I never learned it from a human. I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of humans trying to tell me that for many, many years. In job reviews and everything else, right? A lot of employees tried to tell me that, but I could never hear it until a horse spoke it.
And some more good insight. Sky says, I felt it when you said DJ knew he didn't have to do anything because you were there. It would be nice to be able to trust that it's okay to step away and not lead every moment. Green says, I recognize another lead mare in my family when I need a break.
Mm-hmm.
Karen says also the importance of observing first and to learn where people are coming from because that might explain their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany says, I'm dying for more connection, yet feel overtouched and overwhelmed. I think that connection would be so impactful from horses.
Yeah. I would say if any of you even live near a barn and you are allowed to go there and just be in the space. So they've done a lot of scientific studies now on horses and people and healing, because we know that healing has occurred, but we've never known why. We're just kind of like, yeah, horses are healing and that's great. And I'm not comfortable with you right there. Thank you. And we've done a lot. They just finished the heart math project, just finished some research. So our magnetic field around our heart goes out 9 feet as human beings. So when you think about that when you're with your family and you're sharing space, which is what we're all doing right here. If you're within 9 feet of each other, your heart, your magnetic connection, you're connecting in your heart. Horses go out 60 feet. 60 feet. So that's a significant difference. So if I'm within 60 feet of a horse, I could take my car, park alongside of the road, and there could be a horse at a fence. I could have my windows down and I am sharing space and connection with that horse. Okay. I know Renee's been teaching, she did sight this week. Renee's a good friend of mine, a beautiful, beautiful soul. I hope you guys enjoy. I haven't seen her in so long. Warmed my heart to think about her this week. And she's great at that, but teaching those meditations that you're going through, those are powerful, powerful ways, even if they're 5-minute or calm apps. There's so many different things you can do for that self-care and that leadership, and just taking time for yourself, which if DJ doesn't take a break, what's going to happen to him as a leader? He's not going to make it. His herd will not survive and he will not survive if he tries to take on all the leadership.
Are you all taking that in? I know you must be because you're here. But that is what being a rare mother is all about, is caring for yourself so that the herd can thrive and survive. And it's so frequent that all of our needs fall to the bottom of the list instead of the top, or even somewhere near the middle. Right.
Yeah.
Typically. Yeah.
This has been so healing. Brittany says, I think it's farther than 60. I can feel it in Minnesota right now. She says, am I the only one crying?
No, I am. I cry all the time. But I'm sitting here with them. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm glad you can feel it. And it's true. It's true. So HeartMath's also done some really cool research on that kind of stuff, to when we're all connected, even through video, even through different pieces, that we're connected. So is that right, DJ? DJ's licking. Oh, thank you. DJ's licking and chewing, which is one of the horses' sign that they're in agreement. We always say it's recently we've been saying it's their amen. It's like they're like amen, right? It's when our heads and our hearts match. So I think one of the things that I also want to just say to you, that if you could take another thing away from tonight, which I think, if, like I said, if you just took what we've done so far away from tonight, but is that so horses respond when we're congruent, when our hearts and our head are aligned. So if I walk in here and I'm scared of DJ and I pretend that I'm not, DJ will stay completely on the other side of the arena for me, because my heart and my head don't match. As second I admit I need help, I feel like I'm the only leader, I feel like I don't have anyone else, I struggle with this, whatever is in our heart, when our head and it match, we become what we call congruent, and horses respond to that. And the reason they do is because we automatically change our energy as soon as we are right with ourselves, as soon as we're congruent with ourselves. So in saying that, what I really want you to take away from that is our kids know. Our kids are very instinctual. And when we're telling them everything is going to be all right, but our heart doesn't believe it, they feel it. And they don't feel safe. And so I just want you to think about, how can you be congruent? It doesn't mean you always have to, spill out everything you're feeling necessarily out loud, but how can we find that congruency? And that's going to be really important as you walk through some of the things that you guys are walking through with your kids, because kids, my favorite group to work with. One, I love working with women because they're just right on. And secondly, I love working with kids, because kids can read a horse like you wouldn't believe. And it's because they follow their instincts. We've gotten old and jaded, right?
I'm listening and I'm thinking, Kelley, many of our children are dealing with diseases that make their life so medical and make their future so uncertain.
Yeah.
And so how do you be congruent when you feel like you're supposed to put on a happy face or be the hope and be the yeah.
I'm going to take something that came from one of my dear friends. Her name's Terry, and she'd probably be like, I can't believe you mentioned me on Zoom. But I recently saw her, and I haven't seen her for a while because of COVID. And we finally got connected again. And this woman, I worked with her in my old program. She is the most congruent person I know. She can't, by the way, she's scared to death of horses. So she did not get her congruency from horses. I don't know where she got it from, but she's always had it. It's one of the reasons I love being around her. And she said that her kids were trying to navigate COVID. They were in high school. One of them was graduating. All these things different. And instead of saying like, oh, let me tell you exactly what's going to happen or this, or, you know what she said? I've never been through anything like this in my life. I'm right where you are. I don't know. And I was like, who says that to their children? Oh, did that scare you guys? Who says that to your children? I just was like, what a perfect congruent response. Instead of like, everything's going to be okay. Oh, so you missed prom. It's not that big of a deal, right? I don't know. I've never navigated something like this. You're gonna and the beautiful part is horses and children forgive legitimate mistakes. And if you've got a pen and paper or any place you can write that down, write it down. Horses and children forgive legitimate mistakes.
Yeah. Kelley, thank you so much. I can't believe how fast this hour has gone by. And I'd like to ask each of you to please put in the chat, and carry close something you may have learned this evening. I think what I learned is the reinforcement of connection is the act of compassion. That's what I've always fix or progress or, and that's what I'm seeing this group do already with your really loving guidance and with your beautiful shepherd. Oh my gosh. Any comments for Kelley as we wrap up our hour?
There's been a lot of questions of when can we come visit?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
So it's kind of neat that you guys have this band. You're going to be together, I think, 6 weeks. So this right now can be you guys are going to become part of each other's herd and lead and be able to support each other, even if you're not right in the same backyard. So, and anytime you need, just close your eyes and think of your horse. Think of your horse.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much. This is living proof that we can heal with horses, that we can do that in a virtual experience. I'm so happy that Kelley, that we got to partner again on doing this, you know, and thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Remind me of your name. Leora. Well, Leora, it's so nice to meet you. The farm doesn't run unless we have all the help for the lead mare over here.
The lead mare needs a break once in a while, huh?
Okay, I hope that you take something of this into your heart. We really wanted to do this experience early on so that we could reference it throughout. So we're sending you love. Everybody send each other love and our hugs like we always do, and have a really, really wonderful evening. We will see you again on Monday. Okay, Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific? Jess is going to look it up. I think we're Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific with Renee Schwann. Yeah. So we will see you Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, Jennifer, for your help. That was great.
You're welcome anytime.
Okay.